Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and today is my month in review for April of 2020. If you're new to my channel, a very special welcome to you. I'm so glad to have you here, and I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave if you like what you see, and ring the bell so you don't miss out when I upload Tuesday through Friday. So if you're new to this series, every single month I come and I tell you guys all about the things that I've been loving, new or old, things I've not been loving, and any other shenanigans I decide to throw in between. I also wanted to mention that normally in these videos I share with you what I have purchased for the month, but this month it just doesn't feel appropriate to me. I don't want to encourage anyone to go out and buy anything. Of course, I'm going to share a couple of favorite products here with you, but I'm also mostly going to share with you, the discovery of the products, and wish for you that you have a similar discovery with products in your own collection. So let's go ahead and start with the one bad news for the month. And I've spoken on this before briefly, but I did go ahead and purchase, I believe this is a mini of the ABH Dip Brow Gel. And this is a tinted brow gel. The spoolie looks like this. This thing was a hassle from beginning to end. From the beginning, I could not get this to apply on my brows without completely adhering itself to the skin under my brows, which is not what I'm looking for. And I felt very validated when I heard Raw Beauty Christy say that she had the same issue with this brow gel. So I thought, well, maybe it's like a mascara and it just needs to chill and like marinate a little bit. And so I stopped using it for a while, and then I came back to it. It seemed to work better, but I was still getting little tiny flakes and clumps in my brows from the product, and then it just dried out. So I don't recommend this whatsoever, especially for the price. I love the Essence Make Me Brow, and I'll link that down below for you. I use number 3 Soft Brownie Brows. It's what I have in my brows today, along with my NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Ash Brown. And these are $3. So I don't recommend this one at all, but now we know. In terms of favorites for the month, I'm going to talk about just one favorite product, and then I'm going to talk about some products that sort of filled a need for me specifically. The first one is the Glossier Stretch Concealer, and I have mine in the shade G10. I love this. This is what I have under my eyes today. I really think this is my perfect concealer. It's emollient, but not so emollient that it stays like tacky or anything under the eyes. It does lightly set itself, and it's beautiful. I think it's buildable, but I think it's definitely a light to medium coverage if you're just tapping a little under your eyes. And to be quite frank, I don't have dark circles a lot on my under eyes, especially with some products that I've been using in regards to skincare, but this is perfect for me. I like it with my phalange and just tap it under there. I also use this brush that was recommended by Jessica Braun. It's the Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush. These brushes have been revamped through Sephora, but I think they have similar brushes like this. It's just very effortless. I like the way it looks under the eyes. I just love everything about it. I like using it on my face for spot concealing. When I'm wearing no makeup, I will just apply this in areas where I want to even out my skin tone. It just works so well. And when you look at the price, I believe this is $18. I mean, this is gonna last for a long time. And I think it's worth every penny, and it's not all that much more expensive than a lot of the drugstore concealers we're seeing come out now that are $10 and $12. So there's that one. And then sort of as a follow-up to that, I have found a powder that I actually really like on my under eyes for setting my concealer, and even with this very emollient cream concealer from Glossier. It's the number 7 Lift and Luminate Triple Action Translucent Finishing Powder in Light. This to me is very, very reminiscent. It's silky. It almost feels like it could have dimethicone in it. But it's very similar to the texture of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish powder. And a lot of people like that one for setting under the eye, and I really do too. Mostly, I mean, if you've not been around on my channel for a while, mostly I'll use my ring finger, pick up the powder like this, and then pat it on my under eye, and I find that that works the best for me. I don't get too much product. I'm using the heat of my finger to sort of mesh or marry the powder with whatever concealer that I'm using. I like this with all of the concealers I've been using, but I especially love it with the Glossier concealer that I'm obsessed with. So I really do love this. It's beautiful on the rest of the face, but I will say it's a finishing powder. It will set your makeup, but it's not going to give any coverage. It's not going to give any oil control or absorption, anything like that. This is more like your ambient lighting powders from Hourglass. I'm not saying this is glowy. I'm not comparing the formula. I'm saying this is more for going over the top of your entire makeup look, sort of meshing things together, blending out the edges, you know, things like that. So beautiful, beautiful powder, and I love their regular Perfect Light pressed powder for setting my face as well. And so I guess what I have to say about the concealer and the powder together is that during this time during quarantine where I'm not purchasing new products, I've been trying different combinations of concealer and under eye powder, or foundation and setting powder, or just what have you. I've been trying a lot of different combinations and really diving into my collection because I'm not purchasing any makeup, therefore I'm playing with what I have, and I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed it, but we'll get to that. Another favorite this month is actually one that my hubby discovered. In case you missed it, I did put up a video with my husband Brian choosing all of my makeup. He is colorblind, and it was quite an entertaining video in my opinion. So I'll link that for you in case you missed it. But in that video, he chose a foundation and powder combination that I had not tried that I ended up really, really liking. It's the foundation and powder combination that I have on today. The foundation is the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus Dewy Foundation. I have mine in the shade Buff Bisque. And then the powder is the Ulta Beauty Mineral Setting Powder. I will say, I wasn't loving this at first. What saved this for me is setting it with this powder. Not saying that this is going to be the right combo for you. I'm just saying for me, I discovered this combo and I love it. And overall, I have been loving this Ulta Beauty Mineral Setting Powder. It's translucent, they call it. It is a little bit, you know, tinted, but I don't really think that it adds any coverage or shows up on the skin overly well. Looks sort of like this, and this is also very silky, very lightweight. I do like to buff this powder into the skin with more of a dense powder brush versus like a loose fluffy powder brush like this one. But overall, I've been loving this all month long. I had a different pressed powder in my Shop My Stash, and yeah, I still kept reaching for this one. I probably should have just put this one in my Shop My Stash. But I'm really, really enjoying this powder from Ulta Beauty. And if you've been looking to try a new loose powder, Ulta Beauty goes on sale all the time. Like their store brand products goes on sale all the time. I highly recommend you wait for the buy two get two sale, and you know, if you're interested in trying it out or if you're in need of a new loose powder, I really love this one, and I specifically love this combination. This is very dewy, and I've found for me and my combination skin type, I need very, very little of this. And overall, I'm more of a light coverage girl. Sheer to light coverage, that's what I'm looking for, especially as we get into the warmer months. So today, how I applied this is I put a little on my fingers and I just applied it with the good old phalanges all over my face. And then I took my beauty blender and just sort of, you know, made sure everything was blended, absorbed any excess product, which there really wasn't any. And then I went in after a few minutes with this powder from Ulta Beauty. Again, I used more of a dense brush to really kind of buff it into the skin. And then again, I went over with my very lightly damp beauty blender and just made sure everything was pressed into the skin and that I absorbed any excess powder with my sponge. And I really love it's such a beautiful skin-like finish. It looks pretty shiny in the viewfinder in the video here, but that's because of my studio lighting. In real life, I'll put up here a picture of my makeup in natural lighting for you, but it just looks very healthy. It looks very skin-like and natural, and I'm all about that life. So I'm loving this combo. And then the last thing that I've just really been digging on this month is small, curated, abbreviated palettes. Just quads, quints, things like that. I find that it takes the guesswork out of my makeup. I don't film every day, but I do wear makeup almost every day. And sometimes I'm in a bit of a hurry, and so the things that I reach for when I'm in a little bit of a hurry for eyeshadow are smaller palettes. For example, these beautiful little bite-sized palettes from e.l.f. I know everybody and their grandma's talking about these on YouTube, and for good reason. These are fabulous. I'll put up a picture here of the look that I did yesterday with the Rosewater Quad. This was for my collaboration video with my friend Beauty by Angela, in which we talked all about the makeup that we grabbed for in a hurry. And it's not just the specific quad, it's in general these abbreviated color stories, 4 or 5 colors that I can create multiple looks from in a hurry without much thought or color theory or anything like that. So I really love this Rosewater Quad, but my daughter also picked up this pumpkin pie quad for me. She's so sweet. When she has her own money and she is now allowed to, well, not now during quarantine, but prior to, you know, the apocalypse, she was able to walk to Target on her own with her own money, and she frequently come home with a little, like a lip gloss from e.l.f. or something like this, and I love this. I freaking love this bronze shade right here. And then, you know, if you want to go full bougie or you happen to have these things anyways, I also really love the little Pillow Talk quad from Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You have a nice rosy pink, you have a nice mid-tone warm brown, this pinky peachy goldy shimmer for the lid, and then this little topper glitter moment right here. Then my favorite little bite-sized palettes, if you will, that are not from e.l.f. are the ones from Natasha Denona. I'm still really wanting to pick up the mini glam palette, but I do have the mini star palette and the mini retro palette. I will link my 2 looks and review that I posted with this palette. But this is really, I mean, this is kind of what started my love for smaller, more abbreviated color stories. I've had this for quite some time, and you'll be able to see that I have dips in all of these shades. It's just really, really quick and easy to pick out a look with these. And so this month I've really been digging that. On the days that I'm not filming, I love just reaching for something quick like this, not making my family wait around on me to spend a half an hour to an hour doing my makeup. I just throw a couple shades on the lid and I'm out the door.
That seemed like a very long explanation to that. Whew.
And then the last thing in the top of this month is something that I've mentioned a few times, but I'm like totally obsessed now, and that is soap brows. I have this little box that I picked up at Walmart for very inexpensive. We have the Pears Glycerin translucent soap that you can get just I mean, a lot of places, but I did get mine on Amazon for a few bucks. And then I just take whatever setting spray I happen to have. This one's a little too glowy or oily for me, so I've been using this one lately. I do a little spritz on here. I rub my spoolie in here. I comb it through my brows. It's just as good a hold as my ABH Clear Brow Gel, which I love the ABH Brow Gel because it's like hairspray for your brows, and I need that. My brows, if I don't like shellac them into place, they'll fall down during the day and they look thinner than they actually are, and they just look kind of disheveled. And who knew I was ever going to be a brow girl? Certainly not me, but I'm loving soap brows. In other news, I have really enjoyed shopping my stash for a specific color this month. If you missed it, my girl Kelly from Glam with Kelly and I did a shop our stash at the beginning of the month, as we do every month. But this month we shopped our stash for peachy vibes, and I've just really loved kind of delving into certain color stories that are peach or complementary to peach. And I've just been having a lot of fun with the products I pulled this month. I did put away all of my unofficial Project Pan products so I could really hone in on using, loving, and abusing my Shop My Stash products for the month. And I've been loving it so much, in fact, that I hit pan on one of the products, like a good amount of pan. Look at that. So much. It makes me want to continue using it because this is a mini. This is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer, and it wants me, I want to continue to use this bronzer because I've hit pan on it and I feel like I could use it up if with just a little dedication. It's what I have on today. I think it's a beautiful, flattering color. I like the luminosity to this. And I was just really excited that I hit pan on a Shop My Stash product for the month. And then the last thing I kind of want to talk about, and I briefly touched on it in the beginning of this video, is how being quarantined or the stay-at-home order, or you know, whatever you want to call it, how the current world circumstances has affected me, my makeup routine, how I look at makeup, how I look at new releases. And I will say, overall, I'm super excited that there has been like this wave on YouTube of people just using what they have, not promoting all of the new releases. In fact, the new releases seem to have really slowed down. I still look at Trend Mood, I still look at Sephora and Ulta apps just out of curiosity, but it does seem like the new releases have slowed down a little bit. Hydration. But that being said, when I look at the new releases, I'm just not that interested in anything right now because I'm having such a good time playing with my makeup. Like I said, finding combinations that I love, products that I thought, man, this is gonna sit in my drawer forever because this is not the foundation for me, when all I had to do was have my hubby pick my makeup or try it out with different powders and things like that and experiment with my makeup. So I just am not looking at new releases the same way. I see things on the apps and on Instagram and stuff, and I'm just like, meh. I will say two things that I'm curious about, and that's one thing I'm trying to learn, is the difference between wanting to try something and wanting to add something to my collection that adds value and things like that. So, for example, I am very curious about the new Fenty cream bronzers and cream blush. In fact, I have a couple on my wish list I'm very curious about. And I think the color of the blush is actually something that would be unique to my collection. But, you know, I'm not buying anything right now. I know I'm not. I don't think it's appropriate for me. My husband was in the ICU and out of work for almost a month, and so we're catching up on, you know, putting money back into savings that we used and things like that. I mean, you just never know. I mean, it's possible that we're heading into a recession here in the US. I mean, I think it's almost a certainty at this point, and it just doesn't feel right. And hallelujah for that, because I was a train running off the tracks before all of this happened, but as soon as all of this pandemic business hit the US, and as soon as I made a little panic order for a few MAC products during 21 Days of Beauty, I was done. Like, I was okay with being done. I'm still okay with being done. I look at the Fenty Cream bronzers and I'm curious to try it. I want to try it, but I have a Milk bronzer stick that I don't use nearly as much as I could or should. And, you know, that's pretty much the same thing. It's just not in a compact, it's in a stick. I have a lot of cream blush, and cream products do go off. Like I said, I think the color that I'm interested in, I'll pop it up. I think it's called Strawberry Drip. And I think the color would be unique to my collection, and I do think it would also be flattering to my skin tone. But I'm not buying makeup right now, and I'm totally okay with that. And I'm really, really excited that more and more content creators are sort of swapping over to shop your stash, using what you have, full face of nothing new, and those types of videos. And so I just want to encourage you to do the same. Like I said, with these favorite products, it's more of a favorite process more than anything, and that is finding things that work well together within my own collection, trying combinations that I've never tried before, and learning ways to make what I already have work for the things that I'm curious about or interested in. Like I said, not going to go over the products that I purchased this month like I normally do. You will see these products come up on my channel at one point or another. Some you've already seen in new makeup videos and get ready with me's that I have done previous to now. But I just don't want to tempt anybody, and I hope I haven't done that today. I hope that you are staying strong if your finances or your heart is telling you that you need to rein yourself in and sort of go on a temporary no buy from makeup like I am. And you know, I encourage you. I encourage you. You know, it's not that I don't have temptations or curiosities, it's just that it doesn't feel right to me right now, and I'm loving every minute of it, to be quite frank. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of rambly. Damn, 25 minutes, Kara. Get a grip. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I always love doing these videos, sort of wrapping up the month in a neat little bow. Again, welcome to all of my new friends and new subscribers, and if you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I hope you're being kind to everyone right now, but most of all to yourself. I hope you are wearing makeup, and if you are, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I will see you in my next video soon.